alive one more time. Not him, though. He's going through some trauma issues. He's been traumatized over the crap he had to drink earlier. But
it's pretty horrible.
Yeah, but other than that, we're going to get down to some Dark Side of the Ring again. We are going to talk about the episode of Cocaine and Cowboy Boots.
Cocaine and Cowboy Boots.
Which we thought should have been named
Cocaine and Hookers. That's where we thought that one should have went.
Not only that, but during this episode, they said the word cocaine and the word hookers so many times that you could have had a drinking game.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was about the UWF and how that all came about and everything that was going on with that deal. Man, all the partying and just everything that guy was doing. And, man, that was crazy.
Yeah. Well,
I had a heart attack a few times just watching that episode.
And another thing about this is this guy was like one of these guys that came out of nowhere, and he's telling you, I'm going to do all these things. And he does have some money, but he doesn't have all the money that he says he has. And he's getting these people, and he shows up at this wrestling event where, just like a con where people sign autographs, trying to make a little money on the side. That's what some wrestlers do when they don't have a whole lot. So he's there and he's trying to, talk to these wrestlers. Some have contracts, some don't. He's just trying to get as many as he can interested in his product. And they begin to kind of listen to him because this guy is just like telling you all these things he's going to do. He was a good salesman. Yeah, he's really good at trying to sell what he was doing. And some of it he was saying stuff and they're like, that person can't be there. They're dead already. But he was so believable in the passion that he had for what he wanted to do because he was a wrestling fan who wanted to start a business right after in the early 90s. And it was just kind of like not really, wrestling was kind of on that, it was there, but it wasn't as big as it was through most of the 80s. And he started the UWF, and he had a lot of big names. Honestly, he had a lot of good names. It really kind of floored me how many good names he had, and he didn't do very well in some of the events, didn't sell out very well or do very well. It is really kind of a strange thing to me because he did have really good talent. Everybody from Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Dangerous Dan Spivey. He had Bruno Sammartino was doing, commentating with him. He had a lot of, really big names and some up-and-coming names that he tried to push a little bit and whatnot, but he was just not good at his business part. He enjoyed the party and wanted to be in the spotlight himself. Yeah, that's what I feel.
I think, and he did. He was part of the show sometimes, or he'd get in there and let the wrestlers do stuff to him and whatnot. But I think where that guy fails, because he's got the right attitude and he's got the drive and he's got the want to do it, but I think where that guy fails is he's too busy having fun with the money and he's not taking the business side of that deal serious. So, meanwhile, I'm sure I don't know if, they didn't really talk about it much. I'm not sure if any of those guys' checks bounced.
Oh, yeah, a lot of those guys' checks bounced.
I think towards the end, right? Towards the end, a lot of their checks bounced. But in the beginning, he's partying, and, these guys are talking about how, there's hookers and piles of cocaine, and
he's always naked.
Wearing
his cowboy boots.
Wearing his cowboy boots. He's always naked. He's always wearing cowboy boots. There's always two hookers, and there's always a pile of cocaine. Jesus, man.
Yeah, that is every story after every single story that somebody said.
It's every guy on the whole thing. It's like you forget what the thing is about because all you can remember after a while is this guy just liked to party and loved cocaine and hookers.
Yeah, pretty much. Then I think he wanted to be bigger than he was at the time.
Yeah.
And he tried to go too fast. And instead of taking a pace at a time to build, he wanted to be big automatically. He thought if I have these names and I have these things, then I can take out the WWE. And that's what he thought he was going to do. I was going to go up there and I'm going to be able to be the guy that's going to take Vince McMahon out. And, lots of people have thought that, but it's never happened. But you have to take a pace at a time. you cannot jump in and be the big guy, and he wanted to too fast.
I think where a lot of people fail that way is they're focused too much on trying to beat out the other organization, right?
Instead of just being better at what they're doing.
Instead of just do your thing, do you, right? And just do what you need to do and try to do things a little bit better and try to put on good shows, right? You're going to capture it eventually. If that wasn't true, there wouldn't be AEW, right? There wouldn't be other independent wrestling organizations. You wouldn't have any of these other shows that people, see now. This guy even tried to actually run a pay-per-view. He tried to put on a pay-per-view at one point, and what was the guy talking about? Like the night before, or the day of, or the night before, he's just getting blasted, man. It's like he's not even. And then they didn't even really fill.
They didn't fill. They only filled the bottom.
They had to dim the lights so that you wouldn't notice that there was nobody there. All you could really see was like some, a few hundred people, like or something, was, maybe 1,000.
Maybe 1,000 tops
around the and that's gotta get you. When you're building up.
You got to start small. You can't think of, I'm going to do the biggest building I can find and fill it up.
Unless you just got a ton of money and you know how to put on a good show and you know how to get people, right? Obviously, right now, you got AEW. I don't think AEW, for everything that it is out there really trying to get rid of the WWE and Vince McMahon. They're just
being an alternative.
They're just being their own thing, right? They're just giving you options. They're just being their own thing. And it's kind of cool because then there's competition, but it gives these guys another outlet and somewhere to work. Yeah. And he tried to provide that, but I think in the end, his personal life kind of.
Well, it's because he wanted to be a star too. He wanted to be part of that star, and and then the stories at the end of how he died are like everybody's story was different. Not one person's story was the same at all, except for. There was cocaine and there were hookers.
Now look, one guy said that he had a coronary when the cops got there.
Yeah.
Another guy said he took off his clothes in jail and had a heart attack. Yeah.
Another said
nobody knows. How do you not know?
He was covered in Vaseline and baby oil, and had cocaine all over him.
And he was chasing hookers
with a baseball bat.
With a baseball bat or something like that. He was covered in baby oil and cocaine. What?
And some people believe that he faked his own death and he's still out there.
Right.
So this was like a complete.
Right. So one guy, because remember one guy said that they threw another show and he swears to God that guy showed up.
Yeah.
A week later in his cowboy boots saying something. I don't even remember what he said.
Yeah.
Because I was just so dumbfounded at that point by the fact that. You couldn't really figure out how this guy died because everybody had a different story, and then the final thing I remember about that episode is that the guy saying, and I forget his name, so I apologize. I can't remember which wrestler it was.
B. Brian Blair.
Yeah. He says he died doing the two things he loved to do, right? And I'm thinking he's gonna say, help people, or whatever, help wrestlers or help wrestling. No, he died doing the two things he loved to do: cocaine and hookers. and that is the story
of the UWF.
Cocaine and hookers, apparently.
There was pretty much not anything else in that story.
I mean, like, everything came back to cocaine and hookers. It was a weird story, man. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know how to say. And, again, we always say this, right? It's our opinion. We're just covering the episode.
Yes.
If you know some other stuff about the UWF, that has nothing to do with cocaine and hookers, by all means, let us know. Because that's all I got. Really.
Yeah, because that was brought up more times than anything.
That guy was a superfly drug addict, and it was cocaine and hookers, and nobody knows how he died, and we're not even sure if he's dead. So, that
is our episode of Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
Cocaine and Cowboy Boots. Should have been called Cocaine and Hookers.
That's right.
All right. If you like what we talked about, give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, please. Also, Hit that notification button for when we have new stuff coming up, guys. We are the Trauma Guys. I'm Lee.
I'm Fayaz.
Until next time.